This movie was an independent film shot in 2008. We don't know any more. I don't know any more facts about this besides the fact that there is an actual porn star in this movie.
Wanda Lust. I looked this up because when the credits were rolling down, I can't really go into this until we talk about the opening scene.
Yeah. But I'm pretty sure you know who Wanda Lust was.
Oh, yeah.
Prior to
What?
this.
No.
It's a porn star, man.
Yeah. So
Maybe I've seen her other films.
yeah, I'm more familiar with those.
Anyway, so
the fucking credits are going. I'm just like,
do you have the budget for this movie?
you know, I can look that up.
So, anyways, shot 2008, independent movie. The serial killer in this movie is a hand puppet.
What's even $4,000? It's
Okay.
$3,500.
Okay, so that actually excuses a lot of shit. So, let's begin the movie. So, there's an opening
I
title.
bet their budget was a ham sandwich.
Oh man,
Handshake and a hot dog.
passion film. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
Passion film.
Alright, so for the opening scene, the first thing Danke sees is
Hits.
it's just
Hits.
tits.
Just hits. I'm like, so this is the type of movie we are getting. But the only scene of nudity in the entire movie. And I'm just like thinking, okay, we're going to see a little bit more.
So she's running in the woods because the opening scene is saying like
16 something.
16 something
Olden days.
olden days. That's important because it said olden days.
Yeah.
And then just screen popped up with the tits. And so this pilgrim woman, she's not even dirty. She just has her tits out. Like,
Yeah. She has her tits in that little think of a female pilgrim. That's the costume they got.
yeah, and then they just fucking pulled her shirt down
Yeah.
and did this, and had her boobs were just hanging out. So she's running through the woods.
And she is just like popping, and she's like hiding behind a tree looking,
She
running.
and then she does the most stereotypical female thing in any horror movie.
She trips.
Over nothing. And then she looks up, and the first line of the movie, do you remember what that was?
Nice tits, bitch.
Nice tits, bitch. The opening line. And then he takes an axe and kills her.
He takes a axe in feathers and comes. But I'm like, okay, I gotta suspend my disbelief. The next scene, we get kind of like a cool song playing, but then at the start, we basically see this redneck guy. He rips open his shirt, and he's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Oh, second pair of tits."
Right.
I did say that, so
You did. And it's funny too, because like this is like the most overdone opening scene of any 2000s movie. It's high school, and school is out. Kids are excited. They're running like teenagers, and like the guy who you said his name is Billy in the movie. He runs down. Big redneck guy has a white wife beater on underneath, and then like a sleeveless flannel shirt over top, and he fucking just rips open his shirt, and that's where Danke said second pair of tits.
yeah. We get the only girl that I can't remember her name.
I was Allison. I'm
Oh,
looking this up.
Yeah.
Who's-
She lifts up her shirt, and basically in the opening shot, where all five of them, I basically pointed out, okay, there's the slut, there's the virgin,
Allie. Her name's Allie.
very close. There's the nerd, there's probably the jock, and then
The
redneck / stoner.
and then there's the virgin girl,
Yeah, first one I named.
Christina. What was?
Christina.
Did you say her name?
Yeah,
already?
no, not. I just said, okay, there's that person, like just
Yeah.
their roles and all that stuff.
Yeah. So
John's your jock.
yeah, Darren's the
Nerd. Billy's the redneck,
Allie's the slut.
and then Christy's the final girl.
Yes.
I should we just call it virgin or
Uh
how's okay? The next scene after that, they all go into their Jeep.
Well,
'Cause
no,
I do
okay.
want to talk about something very stereotypical, so I want to get to another character in this movie.
Yeah, but you're jumping the gun right now, cause
Not yet.
well, it was just something with the like opening scene where like Allie,
Yeah.
like yeah, she lifts up her shirt, but she's wearing a bra, and like she's already hitting on Johnny, and then it's the next scene.
Yeah. So the next scene you get is a cop sitting down for breakfast. He takes a swig of his coffee, and he's like, "Damn, woman, did you shit in the pot or something?" She's like, "Of course I did. I want a divorce."
There's a turd in the fucking coffee pot. The dude is just so unfazed by it, just like, okay.
Yeah, okay, I guess I'm getting a divorce.
You pointed this out. He was wearing a fake mustache.
The entire movie. I'm just like, is that a real, like, you couldn't find someone with a real mustache or just being like, hey, we're shooting this movie, grow out a mustache. But again, less than $4,000 to make this movie. So again, now that I know that, I have to take it back. It was an okay prosthetic.
Oh yeah.
We drive back to the vehicle and they're driving. Now, I do want to say something before we jump the gun. The nerd guy had this bad habit of, after every line, maybe he had spit or something in the one take of the eye. He's like, okay, that's part of your thing. But every single line, he would wipe his face and all that stuff. And he basically proclaimed that he was going to have sex with someone in this vehicle.
So from there, like they get in the vehicle and they're driving, and Allie says like, "No, oh god, what was it like?" She says that she's not a hoe or something like that, and Christina goes, "What did she say?" This joke. She says this. Her legs are harder to close than the Bennett Ramsey case.
I didn't get that joke, and it's a joke that came up 3 other times in the movie. So, can we figure out what the John Bennett case was without, like...
That's what I'm looking up.
So, while he's looking it up, these scenes kind of blend into each other. Now, I am skipping one scene where there's a guy hunting in the woods. We will go back to that scene. But the next scene you get is a cop getting a call, and it's his daughter. Now, this is what I wanted to say during, like, the virgin spiel. How common is it how one of these kids in a horror movie, their parents turn out to be a cop? Like, that's a common trope.
Oh yeah.
Like, the cop being the either virgin's dad or some member of the clique's dad.
Yeah, Nightmare on Elm Street did it.
House of Thousand Corpses did it.
Yep.
That's 2 movies right there. I don't want to go into more. You guys could probably say a lot more. A lot of Halloween movies, they kind of switch the mode and they have like more of the slutty girl be like.
John Bennett Ramsey was a 5-year-old beauty pageant contestant who was murdered under mysterious circumstances.
Okay, that's kind of dark. Go forward.
No, what the fuck? Why would they add this in? What the fuck? That makes it so much worse.
Like, okay, we don't know who killed this kid.
They bring it up 3 fucking times in this movie.
Okay, was there something done to his legs? Because the last and final time they said, the nerds was the one that said the line of, oh, her case is so hard, like harder to solve than...
No, the line, what he said, give me 1 second here.
Yeah, figure out what he said, because that's a different line. So...
Her legs are harder to close than Joe Bonnet Ramsey's legs. He never said the word case, and then he gets flustered, and he gives up while he's telling the joke.
And he's looking around, he's expecting everyone to laugh around with him, but no one's laughing at that point.
Yeah, no, he tried to ignore him visibly.
Yeah, but reversing back, going to the 3rd scene, there's this hunter guy, and there's a fucking weird-ass cat meow. And like you never see a fucking cat, but you could hear a cat in this movie, and you're like, "Where's the cat?" And now it's like
this dude's dog doesn't even go near anywhere; it just walks in front of him.
and then the dog looks at the camera for a brief second, and then wanders off. And the dog's like, "What was the dog's name?" The actual dog's name was Jake in the film,
Yeah,
but he's like, "Don't wander off too far."
Laney.
Yeah, Laney. And the dog wanders off, and then that's when you get the call with the dad.
Lassie.
Of course they named the fucking dog Lassie.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, so the fucking dog runs off,
Yep.
and it goes to this, like, weird, like, small totem pole thing that's, like, this big.
It was a totem pole. It had, like, an eagle on top and then other faces.
It was in the ground, and this dog pees on it. And lo and behold, that is where Turkey
Is buried.
and he comes up and the dog is pissing on this turkey's head, and Turkey goes, oh, and then at that point, Lassie fucking gulps like a human, like, oh, and then Turkey says, oh, piss.
JonBenet Patricia Ramsey was an American child beauty queen who was killed aged 6 in her family's home in Boulder, Colorado on the night of December 25, 1996.
Well, I'm glad that actually said that. Oh,
On Christmas.
yeah.
Anyways, on to more important topics,
Yeah.
other than a dead child.
Anyways.
That's terrifying.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the dog fucking gulps, and then Turkey goes, oh, piss. And this is can I just mention how good Turkey looked?
You know, for a hand puppet, he did look pretty good. His lines were pretty good in this movie, too. He almost reminded me of a Freddy Krueger.
In the later series movies,
Yeah, like before New Nightmare and all that stuff. Like, he had those lines.
Oh, he says so many mean things.
Yeah.
But from this scene here, what happened? I think we kind of.
We jumped into the
I think it was.
the car scene where she's calling her dad. Because I just want to get to that trope of one of the kids'
Mhm.
parents is always a police officer and all that. So that happened. And then the redneck's like, "Hey, toss me a beer." And the cop's like, "You better not be fucking drinking in that car."
Well, he didn't say drink. He's just like, "What do you say? Tossing? You can't toss and drive." He's like, I know, Daddy, I know."
Yeah, that's where I would have been like I would have changed those lines where the cop would have been like, "I know what you guys are doing in that vehicle right now." Like, everyone in this movie was stupid. Everyone. Even the
retarded.
fucking nerd was stupid there. This movie was a comedy. You cannot say
Oh,
this movie
straight up.
wasn't a comedy.
So they're driving down this long road, and she's on this phone call, and he said something about like, "Oh, you going to be here in time for this sheriff costume party dance?"
Yeah.
And she goes, "Oh yeah, I'll just be a few hours." And so this is like a long drive from their school to their
I'm
hometown.
thinking they had to be in college or something.
I want to say that too, but they look like high school. That's what the building looked to me in the beginning.
Yeah.
But for
but these
the sake of the
guys-
movie,
These
we're
guys all look like older actors too.
yeah, so we're just going to go with like they're in college.
They're
and
in
all.
school.
Yeah,
They're just in school.
yeah, so
They're driving on this long stretch, and like every cliche horror movie in the world, their car breaks down.
mhm.
And they're like, "Well, we have been driving a while. Let's just set up camp here." Which I thought, okay, you're going to be smart and set up camp near your vehicle. No, they go on a hike. And then the nerd finds the sign and he reads it out with his fingers.
And it's night. It's night at this point.
Yeah. Creeper.
Crobber, like physically using his finger to underneath the letters to read.
Yeah, like he's in grade 1 or something. He's falling around with his fingers. Actually, I can't say that. I did that till grade 3. And
Okay.
even still, that sometimes
Okay,
I'd
but
be,
this
yeah.
kid is in college.
I mean, maybe I did that in high school too, but I was also smoking weed in high school, so.
There you go.
But I had a reason to be stupid.
Mhm.
So he starts walking, gets up to them. He's like, guys.
Okay.
He add something more if you need to.
So this is you're going to I know you're kind of going to but you mentioned this in the movie while we were watching it.
Yeah.
They just left and he was like right behind them besides reading the Crawberg sign. He goes up, their camp is already set up. Like they have all their tents set up.
Oh,
They have the fire set up.
That's not like he starts the story about the whole, and they're
Oh,
like
that's right,
walking.
too.
They're still walking, and he starts the story, and it's not that long. It's probably like 3 minutes of
Not even
exposition.
not even 5.
And when you cut back to them, they're sitting around a fire drinking beer. Their tents are already set in the background and everything. And it's like, how long was he telling this story for?
And the story was of Turkey, the evil Turkey. He was like 105, 110 years old, comes back because the white man did, or the pilgrims did, the natives and the turkeys wrong.
And they have so many stupid lines where I know, like, if those lines were said today, this movie would have been kind of canceled.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Turkey says a lot of fucked up shit. Like, am I
No,
allowed
no,
to?
not even Turkey. It was the guy Jake that said the line, and I'll get to the line later on. Remind me when we get there. But it was like, okay, this is what I think what happened. So, guys, back in 1632, in the olden days, he's like, that's what took them so long. There you go. I helped out a movie. And then the one girl's not getting, because she's like, shit, I should have called my dad.
So
And
instead of calling,
she leaves her dad. And then I don't know when this scene was shot, but the hunter finds the turkey.
yeah, this was before the next shot. So
Yeah. So the hunter finds his turkey, the dog, and the turkey says something to him. I don't remember what he said to him.
I can't remember, but the dog's being chased ever since he peed on Turkey's head.
Yeah.
So Turkey's pissed at this dog. And eventually Turkey catches up to him with an axe, and then this is where the old hermit man from the woods comes back. And he sees his dog with an axe near him. This dog's dead. And he goes, "Oh, Lacey, what happened?" And then he sees Turkey and goes, "Oh, what are you?" And then Turkey goes, "Oh, well, you see, Lacey here had a little bit of an accident." Dude, the old man goes, "What type of accident?" And he goes, "Well, you see, I took this here axe and I accidentally cut him. Get it? Accident."
Yeah. And then the turkey takes off.
Because the old man tried to shoot him.
Yeah, old man tries to shoot him. And then the old hermit man does the probably worst acting I've seen since The Room, where he's like, "Ah, jeez Louise, oh." And then he does the whole, "Curse you, turkey, curse you, turkey."
I'll
I get
kill you. So, again, going back to the
Going back to the teenagers,
yeah,
she's trying to make a phone call.
she goes away from the camp.
Yeah,
That's very important.
yeah. I don't even think she gets reception. And then she hears kind of like a gobble, and she's like, "Oh,
Oh no, she was able to get through to her dad. Could be like, "Oh yeah, I'll be there tomorrow.
Yeah.
We were just camping outside the road." Give him an update, Jenner.
yeah." And then basically, the chick goes and hears something. That's just a Q-tip I broke. And then she starts saying, "There's no such thing as an evil turkey. There's no such thing as an evil turkey."
And you hear him gobbling in the background, and like going through the bushes.
And then he gets up, and then the turkey says the line with her, "There's no such thing as an evil turkey." Oh, wait.
There's a pause. There's a slight pause, and then he goes.
Oh, wait. I lied.
And then he goes to cut her with the axe, and she screams like, "Ah!" And Turkey's just going, shut the fuck up, bitch.
Yeah. A lot of Freddy mannerisms in this turkey.
Oh yeah.
They get back to camp.
Christina does. She
Yeah.
runs away. Turkey Turkey didn't even bother following her, did he?
The only thing he does next is he throws a rabbit into the fire.
Okay. All right, I know where exactly where. So she gets back to the camp. She's telling everyone like what's going on.
Yeah.
And she's trying to get Johnny on her side. Be like, out of everyone I expected you to believe me, Johnny.
At this point, only two people believe in the tale. That's Darren and
Christina.
Christina. Well, I'm pretty sure the dad called her Christy once.
I think that's like her nickname.
Yeah.
But this fucking stuffed rabbit then goes flying over top, lands in the fire. And fucking Allie, they're all talking about it. Christina, she goes to the tent pissed off.
Her and Jake both go to the tent pissed off at this moment.
Yeah, so fucking Allie, she's just like smiling. She's like, oh, it's a bunny. It's like in the fire. And so...
Is it alive?
Is it okay? And Darren just goes, oh, no, that's a baby rabbit. Its guts are like hanging out. But it's torn apart by a beak. Not any beak. A turkey beak. And while the stuffed animal is like burning in the fire, it actually turns into like a co-op steak. It's just in the fire.
Yeah.
I'm just going, what the fuck?
I do want to mention throughout this entire time, Billy and Darren seem to be at odds with each other. Like they're not really good friends. I'm going to put that out right there. They are not good friends.
No, fucking Billy calls him a... Am I allowed to say it?
Oh, we are quoting a movie here.
Yes.
So the line is what this...
Billy calls him a faggot.
I might bleep that out for YouTube, but for Twitch and everything, we're live, pal.
Yeah, so he calls him that word, because earlier on, fucking Darren was just like, I'm gonna fuck someone in this vehicle.
Yeah.
And Danky says like he's probably gonna fuck Billy.
Yeah, just the only chance he has is probably Billy after a few drinks.
Which is so funny that you say that, and then in hindsight, it makes sense.
Yeah, well, the one thing I was really weird about is Darren grabs a beer. He's like, I'm going to get drunk tonight. And Billy just smacks the beer out of his hand.
You didn't pay for it.
You didn't pay for that shit. And he smacks the beer out. And I'm sitting there as kind of like a recovering alcoholic where I don't know if I'm done with alcohol or what. It's personal life shit, so I'm not going to get into it. I'm looking at that. I'm like, even if he didn't buy the beer, I would have looked at him and been like, that's your last one. You ain't getting into my stash. That's where I'm coming from, but this is like obviously shot for laughs.
Yeah.
I just couldn't imagine how many times they did that take and they had to slap
Oh
them.
my god.
Did they go through a 12-pack with that one?
Honestly, I think that was only one shot. I think that's all it took.
I think this whole movie was done in one shot.
Oh yeah. So they all go to bed, except Billy. Billy has a sleeping bag and he's sleeping outside of all the tents. And so the next scene, he wakes up and the old man's just staring over, is like just staring at him.
I was your guardian angel through that night.
And he's just like, oh, what are you doing? He's like still on his back. He doesn't move until the old man says like, that dang turkey was on your chest about to peck your heart out until I scared him away.
There's turkey shit on your sleeping bag.
And he looks down, there's like 4 rocks that are painted brown, and he goes, oh, gross. And then he rolls over.
I'm pretty sure as birds, they don't have that type of poop either.
No.
Like,
that was rabbit shit that they were trying to go for.
It was just like, I know bird poop. I've seen bird poop before. I've had bird poop on my vehicle. I don't think turkeys poop like mammals do.
No.
But again, if I bring into like all this extra shit, sometimes I bring into horror movies. I'm like, okay, that's not real. Okay, that's not. I'm going to pick apart this movie and not enjoy it for just like the whole independent feel of this movie, which I enjoyed.
So then from here, everyone else kind of like wakes up and they come out and they're like, "Oh, who's this creepy old man?" And he kind of like wanders off. It's like, "Oh, I just saved you from the dang turkey, whatever. I'm going to kill that turkey."
Yeah.
So from there, they kind of like they're trying to get back on the road. They fix the Jeep that they were in.
They almost leave Billy behind. He's like right in the middle of, like, maybe he's right in the middle of a fucking piss stream. And he's like, "Oh, you guys leaving without me?"
Yeah, so he fucking hops in, and what happened from here?
So
I think we
at this scene, 4 out of 5 of them are now believing in this evil turkey.
Mm-hmm.
They drop everyone off at their respective places.
Not quite.
Not quite.
This is where the hitchhiking scene comes.
Oh,
in.
I was just finishing off with the kids after this scene.
Oh yeah.
So at this point, there's the hitchhiking scene, which I was going to get to, because literally, if you read up there, they say a line in this movie that I had as a bumper sticker. I bought 2, one when I was single, and then one because it's fun. It says, "Gas, grass, or ass, nobody rides for free." The next scene, the turkey, well, not the next scene, the next moment, the turkey's like, "Oh, I ain't got no gas."
Oh, okay, so fucking Turkey's just—he's not even like he doesn't have his hand out or his feathers out or
This
anything.
guy just randomly stops for him.
And he opens the door and he says, "Ass, pass, or grass."
Yes.
And he goes, "Well, I don't got no gas, so I guess I'm going with ass." Turns around, lifts up his ass, and he shows the dude his ass. And he goes, "That's," well, what do you say? Like, that's a tight ass?
That's a tight ass, and he almost starts fingering it.
And
And then the turkey pulls a gun.
no, fucking, first of all, Turkey goes like, "That's not meant for you," or anyone else for that
Yeah.
matter. And then the dude is like struggling like to get his like dick out to like fuck Turkey
Yeah. And then the turkey pulls a gun on him.
out of fucking nowhere.
Yeah. Again, he Art the Clown this shit.
Yeah, fucking points it like right out of his face and goes,
Don't shoot me, don't shoot me, I have a daughter.
"Call your daughter."
And I actually like this is what made me think, even if this turkey wasn't the best, and I'm glad they didn't CGI the turkey, first off.
Well, they couldn't fucking afford it.
No, they couldn't. But he basically made him call his daughter, and he was about to say, I love you, and the turkey just blows his head off.
In the phone call, he doesn't even let him hang up. He shoots him in the face.
Yeah.
So, and then Turkey jumps in the car and he starts driving. So, fucking back to the kids. They're all being dropped off. And we kind of get a moment between who was first. I want to say it was
Allie got dropped off first.
yeah, Allie, and like she was flirting with Johnny hardcore throughout this whole movie. Like she's trying to get him to fuck her.
Yeah.
And he's just going no because he's clearly into Christina. And so she has this one random skinny guy there, grabs him, like takes him to her bedroom, and they're fucking and all that. And they think it
I don't think they start yet, because I think it's the mom and dad scene with Jake.
I think that's where it went to after that.
Yeah.
Because it cut off before what happened next to her.
Yeah, like, I don't know these scenes that well, because first time watching, so if I'm skipping ahead, I apologize.
Yeah,
It's
I've
just
seen
like-
this movie about a dozen times.
So she goes in there, starts fucking. The turkey then.
Not quite yet.
Not quite yet?
It jumps straight to Johnny.
Okay, now is where Johnny is. And so get this. They have a couple flashback scenes. There's a scene in the fucking car. This is going back a couple scenes where he's like, "I remember me and my dad like throwing the pigskin," and it just shows a football, like a memory of a football and him catching it and smiling at someone. It doesn't even show the dad. It's like,
Which is really weird because we do see the dad later on.
yeah, and he gets in, and the biggest beef him and his dad have is he's not starting quarterback. He's like second.
Second quarterback.
which is still pretty good. Like,
Oh yeah.
you're on reserve in case we need you. Like, the quarterback's just like, hey, my arm's killing me right now. Send in the other guy. Right? Like, the second quarterback is not bad for a college football team, high school football team.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying both of them in case it's one or the other.
Yeah, so the mom's just like, oh, it's been 2 weeks, your father's over, he's not going to be upset. So Johnny goes up to see his dad, he's just like sitting in a rocking chair in the living room reading a newspaper. And he goes, hey, Dad. He goes, hi.
Dad doesn't even put down the newspaper.
Hi. He goes, well, I miss you, it's been a while. How have you been? The dad looks up, throws the paper down, stands up, marches right outside, doesn't even say a word to him.
Lights a cigar.
And then
The son looks at his mom and is just like, I'm just going to lie to him.
no, honey, don't.
Yeah.
So then he follows him out.
Now, between takes, I noticed this, but again, it's just sometimes I watch something and I'll notice something. He has a cigar in one scene. He sits down. The cigar is obviously smaller than it just was. So this guy's either huffing away on this cigar, which you don't do, or there was obviously another take where someone forgot to say, hey, put out that cigar before we roll again.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but again, like, I notice shit in these movies because I've studied movies for a while, so that's my small talent. They start having an emotional scene where it's like, Dad, I did it. I didn't want to tell you till Thanksgiving, but I made first quarterback.
Starting quarterback.
Starting
And he
quarterback.
goes, you did? Congratulations, son. And like they shake hands.
And the turkey pops up behind him. Oh, I hate sentimental moments or
And
whatever.
it fucking kills the dad by cutting off his head and tells Johnny to go along, and he throws the head and he catches it.
Yeah. Oh, and then he runs in and he finds out that his mom got killed.
Yeah, fucking eyes cut out and like fucking throat
Yeah.
cut.
And then
So he goes to pick up the other.
collect the gang. We'll call it the clique right now.
Yeah, the click.
He collects the clique. They go to Allie's house.
And on their way there, they're trying to call her.
Okay, there is a scene where I did mention it during the movie, and I'm going to tell you how I would have shot this scene different. He's driving, and it's just nothing but shaky cam.
Mm.
They could have done that for two reasons. He's really speeding, or they're actually driving and shooting at the same time, which you don't do. You do the old school taping the back of the window up with green tape, all the windows up. You shoot it like that, and it's a much smoother thing. And then in post-editing, you add the kind of car movement.
Mm-hmm.
Do want to say that because that was shot, and it was shot like that, and it was just one of those scenes that I'm like, damn, you couldn't get a second tape? You didn't, like, look at your footage and be like, fuck, we gotta shoot this again.
Mm-hmm. So
They're trying to get all over Valley.
and she's having like they're in doggy style. She's fucking this one random guy, and she's fully clothed. The dude's clothed except for no shirt, and like he's like humping and all that. And then does he finish first?
No, he
and
doesn't
then
even finish. She feels blood dripping on her back.
oh right.
And then she says something along the lines of,
Wow.
damn, he can't last that long?
And then Turkey gets in there and starts going to town, and you see his one leg is like on her back, and he's going, oh, that was so fucking tight. And then she looks back, and goes, ah, and then he looks at her and goes, one of the best lines, he goes, you just got stuffed, and then breaks her neck.
Yeah. It was just, and then everybody shows up. Johnny goes, okay, just wait a second, guys. I'm going to go in. And he goes in and finds a feather. Okay, this is where that other line comes up where the nerd is saying that
Her legs are harder to close than John something Ramsey's legs, and he's looking for a response, and no one's making no one's saying anything. And
Well,
then,
well, knowing that she was a
like,
like a
oh, ho.
no, I'm saying that John
Oh,
John Bennett was a beauty contestant. Maybe that wasn't a good line to say there.
no. So they get out there like waiting on the porch, waiting for Johnny to come back, and they're like, "Is she?" And he's like, "Yes, she's dead, but I found this feather as like covered in blood."
And I also found this condom wrapper. Turns it around, and the flavor is gravy. And I'm like,
And then Billy goes, "Damn, she was just warming up to me."
yeah.
So from there,
They go back to the cop house.
they say, like, "Oh yeah, my Christina's dad."
Oh yeah, they're like,
She says like, "Oh,
we
my
gotta go
dad."
to the library. And then the guy's like, you idiot, all the libraries are closed because it's the middle of the night right now.
But how are we supposed to kill him? We've thrown everything at him.
Wait, my dad has a whole bunch of books in his garage.
You're missing something.
I am?
Yeah, fucking.
Oh.
I think
12 times watching this movie, first
Yeah.
time watching this movie.
Yeah, fucking goes like, we threw everything we can at him, and Johnny just goes, "The fuck are you talking about? We haven't even done anything to him." And
Yeah.
he goes, "Oh yeah." And then Christina goes, "Wait, my dad has a bunch of books at my place. Let's go."
I can just watch him right now.
LMAO.
So they go back to her place, and like this is the third consecutive time it's been night in the movie. So these days are like long, but the nights are so long, but the days are so short because they're just driving throughout the fucking day.
Yeah.
So
Oh, we're also missing the fact that the turkey shows up and he's looking for Kelly or something. Oh, you mean Christy or Christine? And he's
Yeah.
dressed like a fucking turkey.
except he's got like the glasses with the fucking mustache on him.
Yeah, and the dad's dressed like a turkey.
Because he noticed on the fridge there's like that ball costume party at the
Police station,
the
whatever.
police ball.
Yeah.
And so he's like, "Oh boy," he fucking gets dressed and he answers the door for his fucking turkey, and he's looking around like, "Oh, damn kids." And then Turkey goes, "Down here." He goes, "Oh." And then he says like, "Oh, I'm looking for Christy." He goes like, "Who are you?" He's just like, "What? Christy's not allowed to have midget friends?" And so he's like, "Oh no, come on in. She'll be here any minute." So they sit down to the most awkward scene in the whole movie.
Yeah.
They have coffee.
Oh, is this hazelnut?
Yeah, they're fucking. He's sipping, and he's like, and he says to him like,
Where the fuck are those kids?
he goes, "What'd you say?"
What, I can't say fuck?
It's like, "Oh, what? You got problems with midgets saying fuck?" And he goes, "It's not really the size of the fuck I was concerned about. It's more the age I was concerned of the fuck I was concerned about." And he goes, "How old are you?" He goes, 510 years old. And he goes, "Fuck it, I guess you can say fuck."
Which is funnier because early scene, this guy's like, I'm going the F to bed. And then he flips them off, and then it's like, oh, I guess it's a horror film that shows nudity, but you won't drop an F-bomb.
That was after.
Yeah.
Yeah, so from here he makes a snide remark, like two of them, and after the first one, Turkey says like, "Say that again one more time, I'll fucking kill you." And he goes, "What'd you say?" He goes, "Forget about it. You know, Sheriff, I think this is pretty fucking awkward. I think I'm gonna go." He goes, "Okay." And then as soon as he gets off the chair, the sheriff goes, "You're an odd little ducky, aren't you?" And then Turkey goes, "That's it." And then it's a shot of the house, but all you hear is screaming from the sheriff.
Yeah.
It goes on for so long, which made me laugh so hard.
And then the kids actually start on their way back.
Mm-hmm.
They get back to Christy's house. Am I missing anything yet?
Not yet.
Okay. And they answer the door, and the turkey's wearing the dead skin mask of the dad.
And she goes, "Daddy, how's it going?"
And it was just one of those things where it's like, I was kind of like, at that moment, being like, everyone in this movie is fucking stupid.
Fooled everyone. So she goes, "Daddy, you look kind of different." And he goes, "Oh," takes off his like sheriff hat to scratch his head, and she goes, "Oh, you got a haircut."
Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh yeah, come in, come in." And the mask of the father still has that stupid fake mustache. And
Oh
so
man, that mustache.
yeah, so they go in and they're like, "Daddy, can you show us? Can you lead us to the garage?" And he goes, yeah. Where's the garage again?"
Oh, Daddy, you're getting so forgetful in your old age.
And that pisses off Turkey. He goes like, "One more fucking word and I'll kill you." She goes, "What?" He goes, nothing. I love you, dear." So they make it to the garage and he's just like, "So, what are you guys looking for?" And she goes, "Oh, book for like poison. I got poison ivy yesterday." And then she's like, "Oh, okay." And then he just fucking disappears.
Because he's trying to hide the actual dead body. Of
Oh,
the dad.
right.
But that's for a later scene.
This is like the scene after this one.
They had a montage, and I'm pretty sure during the scene, they're reading books as Billy's just shoving fries into his mouth.
Yeah, and this is kind of like the moment where you kind of get a feel for Darren and Billy's romance, because or not romance, they're bromance. Sorry, because Darren is teaching Billy how to read with like Dr. Seuss books.
But was it upside down? You said it looked like it was...
The first one, it was right side up, and then like during the montage where everyone's like trying to read and they're getting frustrated because they can't find the book, and then you see a moment where Billy's reading a book upside down.
Yeah. And then it's like, whoa, we found the book. That took us forever.
It's been 5 minutes.
That's literally what they said in the movie. It's not our commentary. That
No.
was said.
Yeah.
And then, so one thing that always happens in horror movies is they always split up. Billy decides, well, this shit's boring, leaves to go find something to eat.
The reason why he got so frustrated is because they found the book. They'd be like, "Oh, gotta take the pendant off of a turkey's neck, but it's like under his feathers." Oh, but to kill him, there's this like big equation, and Darren's just going like he's doing the math inside of his head. He's just like, I can crack this. So as he's like doing math, that's when Billy's just like, "Fuck this! I'm going to get something to eat."
Yeah. He sees the turkey moving the dead body, which I'm looking at the dead body and all that stuff. Whoever did the makeup on that dad did a really good job for that one.
I will say, like, they did good with the props, like the fucking practical effects. Like that was, I would say that was like really fucking good.
Yeah. Practical effects, makeup, all that stuff. They did a really good job.
Yeah.
They see the bird doing all that stuff, and then Billy just starts wrestling the bird.
No, hold on. So Billy's there,
Yeah.
and he goes, "What are you doing?" He goes, "Oh, just cleaning up a bit." He goes, "No, you're not. You're the turkey. Guys, come here quick.
Yeah.
He's here." So they all come running, and Christina sees her dad. She goes, "Ah!"
It's just that one she doesn't even continue the emotion throughout the entire scene.
No. And then this is where Billy fucking headlocks Turkey and they wrestle the fucking...
Hand it off of his neck, around his neck.
And he fucking runs off.
Yeah. And then, for some weird reason, not that Billy was running off after him, but he just decides, no, fuck this shit. I'm hungry. I'm going to go find something to eat.
Yeah. Like, he was looking for food. Like, the whole time he's like rubbing his stomach, like, "Oh, I'm so hungry. Oh." And everyone's like trying to figure out the fucking equation to kill Turkey. And so he splits off.
Yeah.
And it's like, and then they're like, really like, "Oh, we cracked it." And like the nerd goes, there's only one way to kill the turkey. And it's like, because of this. And it doesn't explain how he does it. It's just like saying like,
We have to say a prayer in reverse, and then we have to burn the turkey at a stake.
yeah. And so they're like, but if he's not at his teepee, he's out killing one of your friends. And they say it all in unison. As if it was written in the book. But it was the equation.
I'm pretty sure he was just reading the script.
Right? So, like, because all three of them said the same thing. Like, they're out killing your friends. Billy! And it cuts back to Billy. It's like walking down the sidewalk, just like, "Oh, I'm so hungry." And Turkey's there, just like pecking at some grass. And he goes, "Haha. Stupid idiot or something like that.
Stupid idiot or something like that.
And then fucking turkey transforms into this transparent cartoon apparition of a Thanksgiving turkey.
You could almost confuse Billy with being drunk at this moment or stoned, because he sees a turkey on the lawn, and first of all, it was one of the worst effects in this movie. It was basically a picture of a Thanksgiving turkey, and he doesn't even get his hands or like. I'm sorry if I'm rubbing my head, but I know how to shoot these scenes.
He's
You
grabbing
know-
at nothing. It's edited in.
It's edited in, but you know how to do that scene. You basically get something of a different color that you're going to crop out so that when you put your hands around something, it actually looks like it's around something, not like you're going like this and then your hands disappear and then you're going like this. And his mouth is almost, like his face is almost disappearing as he's eating this.
Because it legitimately, he just goes like this, and he's holding nothing. It's just the picture that he's like going, ah.
Like,
Oh, yeah. He's like rubbing his belly, going, oh, that hit the spot.
yeah. And then the next scene, basically, they ripped off Alien here.
Yeah, it just fucking goes, oh, and like his stomach's like growling or like grumbling. It's like, oh. And then fucking like chest burster. I made a comment at this point because Turkey says, gobble, gobble, motherfucker. And he looks at the camera and goes, now that's what I call foul play.
Yeah, 2 lines in this. Like,
And I even said, like, you can't have 2 one-liners and 1 kill. That's
like there's
you can't do it.
you're either going to put gobble gobble bitch, or you're like, no, that's what I call foul. Like, if you would have did the one line, would have been better.
Mm-hmm.
But he had to put both lines in.
That's why I love Turkey so much.
And then they're driving and they see. Again, am I missing anything?
So they go after because they like, oh, Turkey's going to kill Billy, and they go, we hope he didn't get to him yet. Fucking drives down the road like two houses down. Fucking there's Billy just laying on the side on like the grass. It's still night out, and he's just going, it's like twitching. So they get out, and I think this is like the scene that like you really were like, what the fuck?
Like, there is no way these guys were friends unless they were like hazing friends. Because Darren goes down, he's like, Billy, you're my best friend. And then he's like, no, you're one of the cool kids. No, you're still one of the cool kids. This isn't bad at all.
And it's a flashback to like,
Them feeding each other ice cream.
because like I think Darren said like, remember when we were feeding each other ice cream at sunset, and then it legit cuts to like them feeding each other ice cream, but it's still like afternoon in that cutscene.
Yeah. Okay, so they're feeding each other ice cream in the scene.
They're holding hands.
They're holding hands, skipping
on
in the
the
park.
swing.
They're playing hide and go seek. They're laying in the grass, and then there's a fade out of Billy in the grass, and it was just like, oh my god, like you guys could have been more closer as friends through this movie. And then they just leave his body.
Yeah, so
They don't even call 911 at all during this movie.
They just casually try and go find Turkey.
And then they go to the teepee.
They find the teepee. It's like the shittiest fucking handmade teepee that's like made in like 2 minutes.
And he's making salad. He's tossing salad in there.
Oh yeah, that's good. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
flip that.
And then, yeah, so
So they get out and they're like, okay, we're going to need some rope.
he pulls out twine.
Johnny pulls out twine.
Yeah.
He goes, well, I got some rope here. I got it from the Jeep.
I even looked at him like, that's not rope, that's twine. Like,
Yeah. So fucking
ropes, like, okay. Twine is what you basically go around to make a sturdy rope.
yeah,
He only has that one thread, and it's like,
it's like from the dollar store or some shit.
yeah, well, maybe that's so much money. Because they're like, can you bring some rope from home? I
mean,
brought this. So-and-so, who's ever playing Johnny, that's not rope. Well, this is all I had at home.
It's only
All right, fuck it, we're using it
yeah,
then.
$3,500. That's all we got in the budget. Fuck it.
Yeah.
So they come up with a plan. Johnny and Christina, they're going to distract Turkey, and then Darren's going to go around the back and tie up Turkey. And even Darren goes like, "So what, I'm doing all the work?" And they're just like, "Do you want this to work or not?"
Yeah.
Because that's exactly what's going to happen. So they fucking go in and they fucking tie him up. They have the pendant's already off, so there's. And Turkey goes like, "Oh, you stupid bitches! I'm invincible." And then Darren says something. I can't remember what it was. But he was just like, "Oh yeah, well I got something that you don't." And Turkey goes like, "What? A vagina?"
Yeah.
And so but they say the spell, so he's no longer invincible. And then he runs out of the teepee.
Where the old redneck is sitting there with a shotgun. He's like,
Fuck, what did he say?
he said a really good line. Remember me or something like that?
Something. And the Turkey goes, "Oh fuck." Shoots him, and
He goes into a trash, like he is shot from the momentum into a trash can. Which that's not how trajectory would work.
so like here's the teepee, right? This is the entrance. Dude standing here shoots him here, and Turkey goes flying that way.
Yeah, trajectory.
Into a trash can, like one of those black garbage bins. And then the kids are freaking out, like, "Oh, he has to be killed in a certain way. We have to set him on fire." And then they go over to the trash can and be like, and the dude's laughing like, "I just took a shotgun straight to him." And the old man, this
Oh
scene
yeah, they're like,
is
nice shot, and he's just like, well, yeah, I kind of point blank.
yeah, and the old man has like a bandana on his head now, and like goes over both of his eyes, so he's legit like can't see shit, like maybe one eye. And they're just staring at Turkey in the garbage, and Christina goes like, "Oh yeah, no, he's fucking dead. That was a good shot."
Well, he did kill my dog.
Yeah,
And I hope one day you guys will appreciate it, because I hope that no one does this to your parents or your best friend.
your mom, dad, or best friend.
Yeah.
And he just fucking wanders off, and these kids are just like, "Huh." And then so they kind of just wander away, and then and then it's a shot of the trash can, and it's like says toxic waste,
And it starts glowing.
and it starts glowing. And so fucking they're back at Christina's house. The body is still in the house. There's no cops, no ambulance, nothing. And they start watching the original Living Dead.
Night of the Living Dead.
Night of the Living Dead. It's black and white. And only because it's free domain. They could use that in movies. They did that with a few other movies. as well.
Yeah, that's a very common movie to be free domain in a lot of movies.
Mm.
I said something along the lines of, "Oh, finally, a good horror movie."
Yeah, you did. So they're fucking watching.
They're all like kind of cuddling on the couch.
I like,
Darren's grabbing popcorn from Johnny's lap.
so
and,
like we will make this clear. So like they're saying like imagine a third person like right here.
yeah,
I'd be Christina, Johnny would be in the middle, and then Danky would be
that's phony.
oh there's there you go. So they're like all like this.
Johnny and Allie are a little bit closer together, but where the bowl is, he's like Darren's basically going like right here, grabbing popcorn right here, and then he's just like, we're the new best friends. I hope we live forever.
Some stupid shit.
Some
like
stupid like shit. Maybe this happened while they were at their fucking trash can. And he looks over. I'm gonna make you my girlfriend.
That. Really?
No, she's like, I don't know what to say. She turns around. I do. It's yes. And then they start
Yeah.
just fucking making
They
out.
start making out, and then you hear a zipper go zip, and fucking Darren's still there,
Which, okay, I'm surprised he excused himself to have a piss.
right?
Just how fucking creepy and just perverted this guy
Damn it.
was. And it was just at the point where he goes and then he's washing his hands and then just kind of like going with this. You could hear the water still running. he turns off the light, and at the same time the light turns off, the faucet turns off. So I'm like,
Yeah.
how do they fucking program that shit?
Right? So
Like, I don't know if you noticed that.
I
shit.
did. I noticed that my first time watching. I'm just like, what the fuck? Like that pisses me off. I do have a little bit of OCD. I'm just like, no, turn the water off.
Yeah, like
No, he keeps the water running, then turns off the light and turns off. So
he then goes to the kitchen, and he's looking for a snack, and he's going around, and then
closes the fridge door.
Funny thing was the first ad was for Trojan condoms.
Nice.
that is hilarious. That is funny. We're just talking about that Trojan man.
So he fucking closes the fridge door, looks, and then there's fucking turkey with this green sludge, and what does he do like to get him down, like on the ground?
I think he just tackles him.
I think turkey probably just like tackled him, and then he like bites his tongue and rips it out of his face.
Yeah.
And so, like, can we appreciate like the tongue rip scene?
I think we have said that the practical effects in this movie, that's where most of the budget had to have gone through, or they have. Oh fuck! Who was with John Carpenter that did all the special effects?
Oh, who the fuck?
But they're Tom Savini.
Yeah.
Well, we'll say Tom Savini because he does a lot of special effects stuff. He actually did Bray Wyatt's mask for The Fiend.
Mm-hmm.
So, not going to get off on that tangent. But whoever was doing the special effects in this low budget movie deserves props. Yeah. Deserves props. Fuck, I didn't realize I said that. So I'm like, oh my god, did I just fucking say that? Deserves recognition. Like, you guys did an amazing job for the prop. Then he starts pecking out his heart.
Yeah, and he fucking tosses it to the floor, and like the heart's still beating. And this is probably the scene that almost genuinely made me cry when I first watched it, because I was like, whoa, fuck. It's a scene of Darren basically dying as like he sees this, like, it's just this, like a bright blue sky with a little bit of clouds.
Like the pearly gates, there's light behind him. You don't see the gates.
But it's just Billy being like, come on, join me in heaven. It's great. And it goes on for like,
it feels like for a long time.
An odd amount of time, because just like, we get it. Can we move on?
Yeah.
Like, come on. It's not so bad. We're all going to be here. Come on.
And then, for some weird reason, these guys end up asleep on the couch.
After they were fucking in the
living room.
Yeah, so.
And then
Johnny wakes up and is like, oh.
I gotta go find Darren.
No, he's just like, oh, I got a bad feeling about turkeys. Cause like,
yeah.
And Christine's going, no, he's dead. We killed him. And he goes, yeah, unless he fell in like some toxic waste.
Toxic radioactive waste.
Yeah. And he's like, oh, the chance of that happening. So he goes to the kitchen because he's like trying to get water or something like that. And that's where he sees Darren's on the ground. He's like, oh. And then
he gets stabbed
with one of those electric plug-in turkey blades. You know, the ones that like saw?
Like the ones from the 90s that every family had, where all you had to really do was clean the blades. And it worked similar to a blender, but it was like a slicer.
Yeah.
Turkey slicer. I think that's what they're actually called.
Really?
I don't quote me on that. Like, someone in the comments will, oh, I'm quoting you on that, Danky.
Yeah, so he gets stabbed, and it's on. It's like turned on. It's like stabbing him right in the gut. It's like, oh. And then fucking Christina comes because she hears a commotion. And what happens then? Because like
you noticed something.
I did, but like Turkey, somehow Turkey like runs away or is like punched. Oh yeah, Christina punched him.
Yeah.
And on the counter, the blade isn't even plugged in, and like it's making noise.
I will say this: the next shot was them unplugging something that wasn't plugged in, but then they unplugged it.
Yeah, so
Turkey
like,
slicer is good enough for me.
Good enough for me. They unplugged the turkey slicer
So-
that wasn't plugged in to begin with.
So it was already unplugged for the scene because it was like still in his gut, and when they ran out, it unplugged from the wall. So when they filmed this, they kept it unplugged, plugged it in for that scene just to get them to unplug it.
Yeah, just so they can shoot the scene of them being unplugged. She takes a guy that just got stabbed all the way to the garage.
To a shed. It's not even a garage. It's like it's a smaller shed than the Evil Dead shed.
And then she's like, "Do you still have your lighter on you?"
He's like, yeah, here.
And then she grabs a can.
Like WD-40 or some shit like that.
The turkey then comes into the...
Yeah, into the shed, and
She flamethrowers it.
and
Did
something,
she kick the turkey into the...
I want to say he fucking exploded somehow. Or
And he got flying... He
Yeah,
went
he
flying
went-
back.
yeah, he went flying back conveniently to the fucking like this
It's almost like a TP-shaped thing that was...
that the pilgrims used to start fires and all that,
Yeah.
and just said that, and that, I guess that's good enough to be the stake of a fire, and so Turkey's going, oh, it hurts so bad, fuck, ah.
She grabs a bat and hits him with a bat to the
She
thing.
she does.
Because I thought she was going to grab a stake and, like, do it like that, but...
You know,
Yeah.
she hit him with a fucking baseball bat. And so he's in the fire, he's burning, and I noticed something that you didn't catch. A fucking, in the fire, a little, like, fireball rolls out. It's his leg. And,
I just thought she randomly picked up like a chicken leg and started eating it.
yeah, so, like, the fire goes out, she picks up a turkey leg. She said something, I can't remember what she said.
To be fair, he's saying that the leg that was on fire went out, not the
Yeah.
bonfire that went out. The bonfire's still going.
Yeah, so she picks up fucking the turkey leg and takes a bite, says something witty.
And then without really him just showing up, the old man just randomly shows up again.
Yeah, said something stupid, and then she takes another bite of the turkey leg and then walks away. Doesn't go to check on Johnny, just walks away.
Yeah. Which then brings it to another scene where it's like,
You were so confused by
it's
this.
just like, okay, what's going? Like, I'm trying to like scan around around the table,
'Cause
and
it-
as soon as I scanned around it, one of the actors was like visibly staring at the camera, which
'Cause,
is a no.
And this is a random family eating Thanksgiving dinner. The turkey's there, it's headless, like it's cooked and everything. They got potatoes. The one guy's staring at the camera.
One guy's wearing a stupid turkey hat.
Yeah.
There's a little girl there, and they all hold hands to say grace. And then the turkey starts moving.
And then fucking Turkey like hops up in Turkey's voice and goes, I always come back for seconds.
And then it's like, to be continued in space. ...
In space.
Now,
That's the movie.
I forgot to mention this one line. There was a line when the turkey was moving the dead body that had me kind of chuckle at the fact of you probably wouldn't get away with that at this point. He's like, I'm out for revenge against all you white folks for what you've done to the land and all that stuff. And Johnny looks at him like, what are you talking about? We gave natives land and we gave them casinos. And the turkey's like,
Isn't
that's not good enough.
Well, no, it was. Is that not good enough? He goes, it almost was. And
Yeah.
it's like, what?
So that's the movie. We spent some time on the credits. They don't have the director's name in the credits, but I think he was in a couple scenes there.
Yeah. Also, so this is the point where I was just like, I saw the first name because it was like in appearance order. So the first person who was on there was Wanda Lust, and I'm going. Danky and I are going. This is that's like a good porn name.
Not even that. It was something. It was two different names. It was like Alabaster Jones or something like that, or
Something like that.
like that during the opening credits, and I'm like, well, that sounds like almost like a pro wrestling name or something like that. And then it goes Wanda Lust. I'm like, that sounds like a porno's name
So
or a porn star's name.
So I did some research into this. So I'm on IMDb right now. I'm looking up Wanda Lust. It says she's in ThanksKilling and ThanksKilling 3, and then the rest are just pornos. Like, I don't know if I'm allowed to say these, but fuck it. Mature Women Unleashed 3. Her First Older Woman 6. Her First Older Woman 2. Older Women, Younger Men 11. And then...
They made 11 of those?
I guess so. At least. And then it's like cock smoking grannies. And then there's one that I found really funny. What was it? I think it was Milk Does a Brother Good. Busted Nut 6. Mature Kink Orgy number 7. Like there's 21 of these things. Like
I'm not. She's still active. 2012. I mean, it is on yours, so.
just monster.
Oh no, you just have to look up her wiki is alive. I wasn't going to look up actual.
Oh.
Yeah, I was just going to see if she's actually still kicking. Again, this movie was an independent one. It was a good time. If you're looking for serious horror movies, I wouldn't check this movie out. But if you're looking for, something put in, get stoned, enjoy a movie, I would recommend this.
Jesus, yeah.
First time viewing for me, even though I've had this movie and I have been tempted a couple times. Let's put her on so I can actually write some notes down. So I kind of let this guy handle most of the scenes in it.
I just went on one of those websites and looked her name up, and sure as hell, it's her.
Damn, awesome. So
I'm going to get rid of that before I forget.
Is there anything you want to throw in for this one?
What was your favorite scene of the movie?
Oh man, that's a hard. I don't want to say that's a hard one, but it was kind of any scene with that old redneck guy, the old hermit, because he added more lore to it than just kids on just kids being stupid almost. Favorite kill in the movie? I'm thinking you're kind of asking me that.
No, favorite scene.
Favorite scene? Oh. The cop and the turkey having coffee together.
The awkward scene, yeah.
Yeah.
For me, mine has one of the one-liners in it. It's the "You just got stuffed, bitch."
Oh, you like the sex scene?
That is the tie between that and the. I guess these two would be my two favorite one-liners. It'd be like, "Gobble gobble, motherfucker." Now that's what I call foul play.
That was a pretty good kill.
I think that's my favorite kill.
I wish I could have edited it differently with the whole turkey, but the actual chest bursting and all that stuff, it was a good scene. Again, I have to just always say, hey, it's just independent film. They did not have the budget for probably special effects and all that stuff, so I do have to give them some. I have to give them praise where I can give them praise, but at the same time, when I say something sucks, realize I'm saying it sucks based off of a whole movie kind of like some rules that weren't followed, where the whole driving scene, there was a couple editing shots where it's just like, that was the first take.
Mm-hmm.
That was the first take.
So, what would you rate this movie out of 5?
Out of a serious 5, I would give it a 1. Off of a serious 5, like there were some shots that need to be reshot. There was some lines that need to be rewritten and worked out better. Off of pure enjoyment of it, it's a 3.5 star. So a pure enjoyment, knowing that the budget was $350, $3,500.
Mm-hmm.
So knowing that, also, like, I'm being fair, off a whole movie, 1 star, off a pure enjoyment, 3.5.
Mm-hmm.
They're still losing points on that 3.5 for some hokey lines, some acting cues, some shots that needed to be redone. They didn't carry a lot of emotion. Like, besides Jake, that was Johnny, that was shaken up by his parents and like actually cared. Christy didn't really like, she, oh dad, but she did like sob or cry. She got over that shit pretty fast.
Yeah.
There's with the bromance, I would have shot more earlier scenes of them actually being friends and being best friends, because they acted like they hated each other for the first like half of that movie.
Mm-hmm.
Until it's like, oh, you're my best friend. Maybe, like, you're right. Maybe the reading scene showed them being friends, but I kind of saw that as the nerd guy trying to like help the dumb guy understand something, not really like a friendship thing, but more of like, here, let me help you kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But then they kind of threw in that twist where they were best friends feeding each other ice cream. I don't want to rag on this movie too much, but I have to treat this movie how I see fit, of a 1 star for an overall movie.
Oh yeah, of
But a
course.
3.5 for an enjoyment
Yeah.
of
So
a movie. But that could also be because you're here laughing along with me watching this movie. So I'm going to say 1/2 star for this guy for the enjoyment, and a 3 star for the movie because of the
That's fair.
enjoyment.
So for me, I think you're right. I'd give it like a 1 star, maybe. Honestly, I'd say 1.5, just because of the special or the practical effects in the movie.
That's the only reason they're getting a 1 star instead of a
That's fair.
0 star.
But from there, I think for entertainment value, I'm going like 4 star. I'd say
4 star.
4 star, because like I know what it is about this movie, but I love like how it's one of those movies that's bad on purpose, but somehow good in that manner. Because when most people do that, it's bad. People who do movies that are meant to be bad are just terrible. Like, you know what they're trying to do, and it's just garbage.
So I'll say this, for practical effects, it is a 4 out of 5.
Oh yeah.
They lose a star because of that fucking mustache.
Well, no, I'd say like practical effects would make it like a 3.5 for me, like out of 5, just
Yeah.
because like you could tell a lot of that was like plastic, but for what they had to work with, it was like really
Yeah.
fucking good. I still think the most gruesome scene was the tongue being ripped out.
That was a good scene, but if your movie can make me remember a really good movie without showing it on the screen, where the whole chest bursting out, 2 lines
Mm-hmm.
of gobble gobble motherfucker, and I guess you could call that foul play.
Because like the reason why I give this a high rate is because these are quotes that I say on a daily basis.
Yeah, he calls me randomly and says gobble gobble motherfucker.
Like I'll like randomly bring it up, and I don't even realize to do it. Like I did at my last job there. I'll say like that's what I call foul play, and no one understands me because they have never even heard of the movie.
No, I'll be honest, I didn't hear about this movie till you brought it up, to be
Mhm.
honest, which again is what I love about this thing we call horror, where not everything's going to be a Texas Chainsaw Massacre or a Exorcist or a Psycho. Every fucking podcast.
Every podcast.
Or The Thing. You gotta look at some of these movies where they come from. I don't know if the director went on to do more stuff after this. I'm trying to use my phone as as less as possible because I got that yowie wowie that goes off all the time. So my phone's actually on Do Not Disturb right now.
Oh, that makes sense.
And I'm trying not to use this so we don't crash. But yeah, that's a pretty early podcast. Still have half an hour.
Let's see here.
Has anyone in the chat seen this movie?
He directed VHS Beyond,
Okay, so
Critters, Bounty Hunter, ThanksKilling 3, Crawl Lake, Hack Job.
VHS Beyond.
Yeah, wow. The Headhunter, that looks good. Techno Western.
So let's for a future movie review watch one of his movies.
Mm-hmm.
We'll find out how many movies he has, and then we'll roll the correspondent dice to that.